Hi folks, welcome to a beachfront chip break. So I actually have a confession to make, which is that I love the beach and the water and hang out with the family. I really do, but honestly, it's usually hard for me to disconnect or relax. Like in some respects, for me, relaxing is actually playing around here, like, I hate to say it, but like working on a project or something. And it's not because I'm a slave to my job, it's just, I don't know, I don't do idle very well. I'm guessing some of you may be the same. Now, having William makes it so much more fun. He's just getting to that age where he wants to dig and play ball, and that's really cool. We've been having fun. But I wanted to share, I had an interesting sort of thing happen with some parts that we sent out. And the vendor sort of screwed up, in my opinion. Not in my opinion, they did. By the way, I'm hoping this audio is good. I'm trying to find a spot without wind. And I was trying to think about what the takeaway is for you guys, because one of the questions that we get so often is, how do I get started? How do I start a job shop? And we talked about it in this video, how we quote work, which is, remember what you're selling. Usually you're selling more than a physical machined part. Usually you're selling your service and your reputation and the whole experience. And I think a lot of new guys that are trying to start a product or a job shop just think that it's all about whatever goes inside the box that you ship out to the customer, and it absolutely isn't true. But what that means is you guys are forgetting how, in some respects, how easy it is to succeed at this. And the takeaway here is communicate with your customers. So my little sob story here, which it did piss me off, is we sent out some parts, got a quote. It's a guy that had actually sort of asked for our business. He emailed us over 6 months, told us about the capabilities of their shop. It's a real shop, multiple big machines. And I had a job, and I sent it to him, and we agreed on a price, and then we agreed on the June 6th ship date. And June 7th came. I gave him a day that I hadn't heard from him, thinking maybe he just forgot to send a tracking number or mentioned that they were shipped. Maybe they'll just show up. They didn't show up. I emailed him, no response. I'm going to paraphrase this. No response for a couple days. Then I started getting ticked, emailed him, called him, no response again. And then finally I called him, and he finally answers. And he started telling me about how they got busy. Dude, I don't care. Think about what that tells a customer when you tell them you missed a ship date and didn't communicate to them because you got busy. Not my problem, dude. And the fact that you didn't communicate that along the way is really the bigger crime, usually, than being late a day or two. And it gets better, though. So then he's like, well, we'll make it up by shipping them so that they get there tomorrow. Parts are already underway, almost done. Well, ends up that probably wasn't true. Because they didn't ship the next day, and he mentioned later, the follow-up conversation, they had a problem with something which he would have known about had they been underway at that point in time. But the real thing that pissed me off was we went 4 more days, didn't ship, didn't send the tracking like he said he would, and I'm like, where are they? And finally I called him and emailed and left him a couple messages. There's no point in hounding somebody, because if they're ignoring you and screening your calls, then sending in hundreds of emails and getting angry isn't going to do anything. The customer or the vendor is just pathetic, in my opinion. And so finally, he has the audacity to tell me, oh my gosh, I had to leave the country emergency because we're working on a really cool job. And he dropped this name of a household name of a cool project. It is cool, but that's taking basically work, telling me that his company's so good that they have the chance to work on this thing. It's an awesome thing, which is somehow supposed to make me feel better about why my parts are now delayed a second time over a week. So here's the thing. I know this analogy or an answer sounds really obvious because we're telling it in this story, but it's going to happen to you. It's going to happen to everybody. There's always a hiccup or a problem. Raw material is wrong, or a tool breaks, or something gets lost in the mail. Shit happens. The question is, how do you deal with it? And it's funny because when you go to this vendor's website, they talk about blah, 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 on budget and on time. Everybody talks the talk, but do you walk the walk? And when stuff goes wrong, think about how you interact with your customers. Explain why. What are you going to do about it? And talk is cheap. It's what you do. If you have one chance to screw up, make sure you do it right and make it right. And there's a lot of ways you can handle that. But at the end of the day, most people that we've dealt with are pretty understanding. We by the way, really don't screw up like this. can't think of any real examples where at least we haven't communicated. Oh my God, there's never been a time where I go 2 or 3 days without returning a call or an email, especially when it's related to a project that I'm late on. So again, I'm emphasizing this because it's going to happen to you. For you guys that are out there starting to shop, something can go wrong or will go wrong over time. How you handle it is what matters. And here's the thing, it actually makes the hurdle so low to start a good job shop or a product-based company, because again, all you have to do is be better than average, and average is pretty pathetic these days. Seriously, it's really sad how low the bar is for that. So that's my little takeaway. I think I actually had a couple notes. I figured I'd also share on vacation, you know, what is vacation? To me, it's awesome to get away. It's really a good chance to kind of clear your head, take a break, and yes, to get away from it. On the other hand, for me, it's actually really nice. I get up early because I like to. I do a little bit of work. I watch and catch up on some YouTube videos. I grab breakfast with Keith Fenner, and it's a chance to work on projects I don't always get to. So for me, having my laptop with me, having ways to communicate, you know, Jared called me with a few questions, I can hop into Fusion and fix it. That to me isn't, you know, being strung to your laptop over vacation. That to me is, holy cow, like a force multiplier. Here I am, sitting on a beach, I can hop on Fusion right here with my laptop internet connection, or my cell phone, and I can fix an adaptive toolpath that Jared's having a problem with so that he can spend the next day working. That's a win. So I actually really enjoy sort of traveling in go mode and being able to nip little things in the bud. It actually is kind of fun. But on that note, I'm going to enjoy, actually, honestly, the first kind of really nice day we've had here. It's been kind of cold and windy and overcast, so it is beautiful. We've got a training class next week when I get back, so it's going to be a busy week. But then it's kind of clear until we go to the Bar Z Summer Bash, which I'm actually getting really excited for. And at the end of July, we're going to be at the Tormach open house, and they just sent me a sort of preview list of some of the seminars they're going to have there. Some pretty good stuff on Fusion, on lathe, on tool, on fixturing, work holding, the new rapid turn. So if you guys are interested in checking out they're really spinning it more as now a open day of learning more than an open house, which is, I think, a pretty smart thing to do. What else do I want to say? Oh, started working on the next Arduino project. So excited to get back into that. I think you guys are really gonna like it. I'm really excited to do that. Anyways, with that, folks, take care. See you back in Ohio.